change that to my Word doc here. Notes for the live stream. All right, so I want to bring your attention to the upcoming changes. I wanted to talk about Celeste, but let's do that after. Because I know I've mentioned a couple of times, and I really want to talk about it anyway, that it's only going to get easier to rank. And this is why. So, from what I've seen in the upcoming changes, not this coming season, but after this coming season, past this coming season is going to be some extremely serious changes. And thanks, Xisin, for information. I really appreciate it. It helps me plan and prepare how I'm supposed to level, and also what to expect on how to play for the next. So shout out Xisin for the second time. Thanks for the info, for the patch notes. So one of the biggest reasons why I think it's going to become only easier to level from this point on is because the Memoria system is getting a buff. So I wanted to pull this up so you can see. Good lord, I don't have enough screens or windows or... I want you to be able to see this. Changes are late August. Yep. So it's going to be after this coming season. So late August, meaning essentially by the end of the month, we're going to get a buff to Memorias and a couple of other characters, but I want to cover the Memorias right now. So this is the second segment that I had planned specifically because it's going to be a huge change. I was actually talking to Kev, and originally I had thought Memorias were useless or worthless after a certain level, after +6, for example. But Kev showed me that he's 20k and has 2 Memorias in his filler slots for supports. So, in my opinion, the fact that Memorias needed to be buffed and they buffed them is going to make a much healthier ranked for me. So it gives, at this point, a +6 will outstat a Memoria or be at the same level of a Memoria. So it kind of gives meaningful stats if you're not there, but also are missing those stats in the first place. So, put this one more time. Okay, so generally they generate about 960 to 1005 if you're using it on the correct character. That's at the moment what Memorias can do for you CP-wise. But in this case, 2000 CP is a pretty big deal, especially if you're like 20k and now you're 22k. It's a pretty big deal. You're gonna get like 1005 from one and 960 from another, so it's not gonna be like the bulk of your CP, but it's really good for free to play. And as you can see from the previous survey, 48% of our player base is 10 to 15, which is basically low spender or free to play. That's a pretty big deal for them. I take that back. It's not meaningless. It's actually really neat. And I want to show you an example of what it looks like on paper and how much stats it actually gives. Shout out to Cydia.dev for their planning tool. It's extremely useful, and I really, really use it an outrageous amount. Probably the most. I'm being real. Go ahead and see if I can get this up. So I want to go to set builder, and I want to show you the difference between a 99 Memoria on a character that uses it and then a 99 on one that does not use it. Okay. There we go. Okay. So ignore this. Let's move over to Titus and let's apply on his support slot. A dream fulfilled. This is the Memoria that came with his season. So on Titus, on its own, 1005 CP, which is pretty meaningful. 1155 points of HP, which is actually a ton. That's a lot of HP. 1000 HP growth at the rate that I'm at right now, an extra 1000 HP stops me from being one-shot from something. Like, I'm punching way above my power level. Doesn't really matter all that much, but 1005 HP or 1155 HP is 79 points of attack, again, also a massive deal. 31 points of defense is okay. Defense is really not great, but everything you can get helps. Titus also has great scaling defense. So take this for what you will, but remember Titus has a 1.2 modifier in defense, which means for any other character, this would be something like 28 or maybe less, 25 probably. 79 attack is very good. Titus's modifier for attack is 1. 1.1? No, it's 1. So this is a little on the low side for Titus, but most characters will get something like 80, 90, sometimes 100. 100 points of attack is a massive deal. So let's switch to Sephiroth, and I'll show you the difference here. So for a non-set Memoria, 1,100 HP is pretty good. Sephiroth has a 1.2 ratio, so he's getting 98 points. This is not for him. This is one that doesn't work for him. You know what? A better idea, as a matter of fact, would be to switch it to a fight with Xisin. You can see the difference. Okay, so you lose 55 points, you lose a couple points of attack, and you lose 1 point of defense. So they're fairly meaningful if you're really low CP. That's a substantial boost, like 12 or 13. That is an insane boost. However, let's just go ahead and go to my cloud. So this I already had set up. This is my actual set that I run for cloud. This is not true because Ace Fire is now 20. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's say we replace Kane, which is a defense primary stat. This is a horrible card. That's what I have. It's a defense primary stat. I'm gonna go ahead and change that to a Dream Fulfilled, and you're gonna see the difference here. So right now I'm at 24k, which means, you know, I can survive at least most one hits unless the CP is drastically different. But if I'm dueling someone at my level, I'm gonna lose probably like 2/3 of my HP or more to one Ace Fire. Let's switch this out. A level 89 card to a Dream Fulfill. No, let's do it to a fight with Shinra. To be fair, 99. So our stats actually go down. And I'm telling you, Dragoon's Pride is a bad card because its primary stat defense, secondary stat HP, proprietary stat attack. It's a horrible card for an attacker. It's a great card for warrior. But our stats actually go down. We go from a 99 Memoria card to a 89 defense primary card. If this was a good card, we would go even further down. It's just, after a certain CP, Memoria sucks. And if you need the boost, but all you have is a Memoria, you're kind of out of luck. After 20k, getting any stronger is the worst. So this is why I had that opinion. But should you be 15 or 16k, it's a massive boost. Somebody actually made a really good point. Memoria. Let's see, I was told that Memoria doesn't scale as well for casuals. That, I think I have to agree. And the reason why it doesn't scale as well for casuals is the reason why I'm mentioning now. The stat cap for Memoria is 99. So in casuals, abilities scale to the highest rank, meaning that if you're Ultima 1 or someone in your party is Ultima 1, all your stat cards jump to their rank, including the mobs and the boss. So you're fighting an Ultima 1 game, meaning your stat cards, chances are M5 or somewhere around M3, M4, however strong, or I don't know if it's the player cap CP or the rank cap of CP that would. But as of right now, yes, it is worse because it scales horribly. If I were you, I would just use whatever most powerful sets and cards you have in casuals if you have the chance to do that, so you can actually empower your CP. So I've been hammering this point home for a little too long. Probably gonna have to edit most of it. You are very welcome. So this is the part that I want to talk about the most, right? It's gonna get easier to rank because Memoria is gonna get better. And on top of Memoria getting better, past this season or after the season in late August, what they're also going to do is they're gonna essentially have an egg banner. They call it an egg banner, but really what it is, it's a catch-up banner. You're going to be able to increase your strength exponentially because every day you'll get a UR, and you'll also be getting a butt ton of eggs. Right now, I can play for an entire day and get something like 10,000 eggs, 10,300, 10,200, and then maybe level something, right? So like that is what I do every day. I actually didn't for a long time. And then again, Xisin kind of gave me an idea of how much you could gain from just playing the game. Daily, it's like something like free 20 pull every day and a free like level or two every day. So it's pretty substantial. On top of that, the egg banner, for a lot of people who are 13 to 15K, that's gonna bridge the gap for them. Every single day, they're gonna get a better and better support card. It's gonna be randomized, of course, but after playing for like 6 months, everyone's basically gonna be at like +7 on most cards. Like I'd say that's not as good as I actually think it'll be, but that's like a pretty measured response or a measured thought on that. It is a paid banner. It's like $6 or something per purchase on. It's like the weekly, but better in my opinion, because not only is it daily, but it gives eggs. You will have to spend a bit for it, but you don't always have to buy it every single day. But yeah, it's gonna make ranking so much easier. We're all gonna be around, in my opinion, in the next year, around 20 to 21, maybe even 22K. I think everyone, the bare minimum that it's gonna be is around that area. So there are also some massive buffs coming to certain characters in Late. I really can appreciate. First of all, Supreme Soul. It's already extremely viable. Go ahead and pull it here. It's over here. It's a very viable ability that is only going to get better. So it's very much Will of the Wikes, but it's actually, in my opinion, better because it's a higher yield faster than Will of the Wikes. It is on a higher cooldown, I think. So already it's doing 2 times potency at 60%. It's kind of insane already. It's probably it's probably the best AoE skill in my opinion. AoE like aura skill, I call it. No, it's not. It's not the best because Kryle's Sacred Force is the best. But this is very close, and I think Will of the Wikes is third. And then there's barriers, all the barriers, right? All the barriers are okay, but they have too many downsides. So primarily, this skill is massively good. The stats are extremely meaningful for Warrior of Light already. At M5, this thing is unbelievably tanky. And Warrior of Light brings that 112 at a 1.2 rate. So essentially 120% of the stat, which is very, very good, especially for him. It can stack really well with Clive. It can do insane boss damage if your Warrior of Light is being very smart about it and or standing next to the boss, shielding everybody, or what have you. If you have a team comp that's really survivable, can sustain for a long time, and can sit on top of boss, I think Warrior of Light and Clive, or Celeste and Clive, or Celeste and Furion, or Warrior of Light and Furion is an extremely good combo, because those are characters that can just sit on boss for days and not have to worry. You still, of course, have to make sure you don't get, combination shot by 2 teammates or 2 rivals or whatever. It's still extremely good. So it's gonna make a huge difference in my mind. If they buff that in potency, that's gonna be insane. It's gonna be extremely powerful and a must run on every Warrior of Light. If they bring down the cooldown, Warrior of Light's just gonna become more survivable. He's gonna have invulnerability frames on demand. It's a really long cast time too. He's gonna be invulnerable for a long time and just be really annoying. So yeah, really good move. I'm gonna fire through these really quickly because there's a lot of them. Sorry if I don't miss any points that maybe might be in. Welcome to go ahead and just let me know. Stop covering this. Okay, so now we're moving on to Blade Torrent, which is, I'm extremely excited for this. I think this move is probably among the best SRs in the game. Blade Torrent is a free CC that pressures your opponent to use an ability to escape the CC this causes. Not only that, but it is high potency as hell. This is a full 900 potency, but each hit is 9 times at 100 potency. It gets slashed horribly by defense. So on Furion, this is a monstrosity of a move to use. Anyone with low defense. On Titus, this does not even take long. So the move has okay stats. It's primary defense. It's secondary attack. Pretty good. It's an extremely necessary buff, like I mentioned. It provides awesome CC. It has great damage on low defense targets. And due to how defense works, it won't do much damage till 9 because of okay. But it will shred boss. Boss has damn near negligible defense. And you can chain this junk twice. You can actually hit it in a rotation 2 times. It's a great move. I think it's an 18 second, maybe shorter, maybe longer, I can't remember. But it's got great range. It's a beam range. You can CC someone, annoy the hell out of them, run away, CC them again, and then just keep doing that. They'll have to chase you down or have to break off from you, and you're an agile, so they can't. Like, it's a great overall move. I really like this. The buff on that is going to be awesome because it means OK is going to be able to run it, and OK scales really well off defense and attack. So it's very exciting for me. I am in the mindset, or of the mindset, that OK needs a really drastic buff. But he's still unrivaled in boss damage. So finishing touch, this one is, I cannot wait. Finishing touch has a cooldown so low that the crystal clear rate is better than Blizzard. The damage is high enough to clear mobs basically on its own. And if they buff potency, this move will be a must-have on Cloud. It's already a good move. A buff to it is going to make it a great move. Potentially, if it's potency, it's going to make it a must-run or must-have. It is such a good move. It's CC, it's damage, and it's good AoE, it's good burst and eye. There is no reason to not run finishing touch if it's buffed potency-wise. Aqua Burst is the next move that's going to get buffed. That's going to be really cool. I hate Aqua Burst. Despise that move with a passion. It does so much damage. Show you. Looks like, if you haven't seen it, if I can tell. Go. It's a Renoa move. It's her SR. It is extremely powerful. It's got great stats for her. I really, really, really think. Go ahead and Kevin here if he wants to. The 700 damage potency on an SR is nuts. I can't even comprehend why she has that. If I'm being real with you, this move does damage before her Angel Wings, and it does one shot after her Angel Wing. This move is insane. I do not agree with the buff for it at all. I think Renoa needs a buff, not this way. This is just going to cause people to cheat. The activation time is damn near negligible. So if it's a potency buff, I'm really not looking forward to that. If it's a cooldown buff, I'm still not looking forward. This move does way too much. Not my favorite, but it's getting buffed. This one I do agree with. Meteor getting buffed, I do agree with. She needs survivability from the URs. Huge for her. Secondly, it really is going to help her commit to boss damage. I played Renoa before, and man, it is a slog. Once you get the 3rd stack on Angel Wings, your auto attacks do great, but you barely do boss damage. You're essentially just like a turret. Nobody wants to stand near you. Barrier doesn't help all that much, considering Yuna and Earthbreaker are pretty prominent. And she really has no other way to survive aside from Barrier, Angel Wings, Meteor. So I would say, I would agree with a potency buff on that. That would be great. I would agree even more, or more so, would rather prefer a cooldown buff. She really, really, really needs to be more survivable. It really sucks to be the team's backbone and then get one shot by Ace, honestly. So moving down from that, Piercing Shot, a Balthier move, really strong. I think this move is already very good. I think it's not as great as it could be. And I think they may make it as good as it should be. This move has a damn near hit scan projectile. It hits from a crazy range. The targeting and locking is much better than most line AoEs. If they move, you still have an option to move. The tracking is almost to the last second, and the last second is essentially like a beam. So it's really good. The damage is really good. The amount of times I've been picked off by this move by someone at equal or lower CP is... It's essentially just like a mini snipe. If they buff the potency, it's just going to be Chone. Another Chone for Balthier. He really needs. He's really weak right now. Fires of War really nerfs him pretty hard. And if they get the cooldown even lower, this move is going to be a freaking nightmare. It's going to be really bad. You are going to be losing HP constantly because you're being sniped from angles you can't even see him from. So this move is a contender for like about to be a really good SR. So next is Army of One. Army of One, everybody knows what that is. Everybody knows what it does. Great stat stick. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I think it needs a buff. Lightning is not doing enough, in my opinion. She struggles to do a few things. One is she struggles to capitalize on duels. She just runs at you and either gets you or dies. Like, she almost never gets a chance to run off when she... that has more to do with beams and how squishy she can be and how low her stats are, because they're all ones, I think, compared to essentially like how bad lightning is, if that makes sense. But yeah, so it's an 11 hit, 125% potency. I think that potency needs to go up 100%. I have been hit by Army of One in the middle of a duel, and I'm just waiting for it to end, is essentially what I'm either trying to outrun it, dashing away, or waiting for it to end, because it's not going to kill me. Army of One really needs a potency buff. A cooldown buff, I don't think it's going to help her. She really needs to have like a closing move. Army of One is like the only other move she can duel with. Dueling with, I forgot what the move's called. The lightning or thunder move she has, her other UR, it feels really bad. It feels worse actually than using Omni Slash. It's just, you sit there, you set up an AoE. If you don't have good presence of mind and prediction, you're kind of gonna whiff it, and people are just gonna wait behind you. Like, I really think this needs a buff, massively. Then here's the next one that I think is gonna be really interesting, and I think this is the Clive Saber. I honestly think that Warrior of Light Clive is about to be very good, like very, very good. So Will of the Wykes is getting a buff. Will of the Wykes already does a ton of damage. Let me pull up my notes. So I don't know if this is it, but I think this is it. I think this is what it'll take for Clive to actually make a comeback, honestly. Currently it's 60% potency per hit, hitting 90 times, which is a crap ton of times. Let's say the duration is a minute. That would mean about 1.5 hits a second. Personally, I think it's more. It feels like more, but I'll have to test that out. I'm not. So this move, if it's a cooldown buff, the uptime is going to be 100%, basically. It lasts really long. You can use it pretty often. It leaves him open, but you don't use it in the middle of a fight, obviously, for obvious reasons. What they could do is they could buff it so it has activation damage. That would be really nice for him. Like a mini Clive UR, one that heals you a little around him, so it can like not be worthless to activate on top of enemies. Or they could increase the potency, which if they increase the potency for this one, then I think Warrior of Light Supreme Soul is definitely getting a potency increase. But I think their buffs are going to be the same. They're going to be exactly the same buffs, because this is the same move. It's just one hit compared to Warrior of Light's 2 hits in one. So this one right here might be the Clive Saber. I think Warrior of Light and Clive is going to go crazy. Like, this will probably shift the melee meta if this gets buffed in a meet. Because Clive is damn near impossible to run away from. But yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy with all of this. I think the only thing I don't like is Aqua Burst here. I think everything else is necessary. I don't think Finishing Touch is necessary, but I'm very happy with that. Yeah. Thunderfall is like most other AoE URs, mostly just good to throw on bursting enemies or an active skirmish. It's an easy dodge for, yeah, exactly what I think too. I think having Thunderfall is really nice, but Lightning needs that other ability, like Auron and Thunderfall, in order for Lightning to have a meaningful like burst an eye. If she can't burst an eye, like what is she doing? What is the purpose of Agiles if it's not to stop opponents from bursting? Like Agiles have the unique ability to be there on every opponent burst. That's like their thing, essentially. OK is one of the only ones that like doesn't have that ability, but at 9, he's just doing it by hitting boss. Honestly, that's just how it is. The Assassinate secondary ability actually burst an eyes. You can hit in a skill, because that's a skill shot. If someone's in the way when you do the assassination move on ninjutsu, you hit them. And it's a full line skill shot. I've killed 2 people with it. So, secondly, Holy and Flare are exactly that. That's what they do. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. Now for the stuff being nerfed. Xisin made an extremely good point about this stuff being nerfed. And I can't remember exactly what he quoted. I think it's on Discord. But essentially, everything being nerfed is part of Riku's current tool. The Riku cheese, Ramza pass, Quartet pass, then pass again, Quartet pass. All that is getting heavily nerfed. So I want to go ahead and start with this. I don't want to pull these up because I've segment already. I just want to place. See what we got. Okay. So first, Hopeful Cheer, a Kryl skill. This is, I think, still within the wheelhouse of Riku cheese, right? Say, for example, you have, well, I guess not. It's not, but it's within, it's like, in my opinion, this and Riku cheese are about the same. It's Kryl, Prompto, Cloud. And what you do is you focus on everyone getting burst as often as possible. Then you pop Cheer and Prompto and Cloud to cycle the boss. That is the most annoying thing to do because it's damn near unstoppable if you don't have a team that bursts in eyes. You have to have someone stunning constantly. You have to have someone denying the bravery. You have to have someone to interact with them in general. So if you're playing Furion, you're not going to be there every time they burst. It's really, really hard to do. If you're playing any Agile that is not OK, you might be fine, but OK has an extremely hard time showing up, especially when it needs to get to level 9 first, because the game ends in like the first 3 minutes. It's truly like anti-game, I feel like. A lot of the things that are being nerfed are anti-game strategies. Go ahead and switch over to the scene so you're not just staring at a blank. Go. Okay. So, Hopeful Cheer, that's, again, Cloud, Prompto, Cheese. Mega Vitality is unfathomably busted. It's extremely powerful. It's the most used ability in high CP. You essentially, if you have a team where you have one Riku who's 10k, and you have a teammate who's 27k and another teammate who's 24k, one Mega Vitality is enough to shut out a player who's 20k from the game. Like, you cannot out damage how much HP that gives. It's without defense, yes, but it's still double HP. That is drastically mean. I think a lot of people will disagree with that, but I have to die on this hill. Megavit is not good for them. It's a fun skill, it's nice to have, but in a game where you can pay to be stronger than everyone else, it is just too strong. In my opinion, Megavit should be 100% heal, can overheal. Yeah, I agree with that too. It really sucks to almost kill someone, then they full heal, and then you see another health bar that's full heal. It's like, that's not conducive. Minwu Teleport, another whale weapon. It is literally what whales use to make sure the CP gap is as effective as possible. If you have a player who's 27k, it doesn't matter where he teleports, the person in that spot is dying. It's really that simple. Unless he's fighting another 27k, you're not getting away, you're gonna get killed. It's really that easy. So it definitely needs a cooldown time in that. I strongly believe. It gives great HP stats. It's an Earth ability. It's great on Kryl. It's great on Cloud. It's great on Balthier. It needs a nerf. This ability needs to not be usable however many times it is. There is no reason that I should be able to chase Riku after a Mimu teleport from halfway across the map, and she can stall 10 more seconds and then do it again. That's not acceptable. Like, I am being incentivized to not play the game. That is legitimately what that move does. And what this playstyle does. The move itself is not bad, it's how it's used. It's the functional purpose of it. So the last thing that's being nerfed is the most meaningful nerf to the Riku strat is Cheer Up / Ramza. This move was already too strong on conception. It is 80% immediately. That's already too much. It should be like 50, 60, maybe 70. 80% is too much. So the move itself is a good idea. The worst part about it is how effective it has become to essentially break Riku's abilities and kit. This move incentivizes everyone to run Ramza, everyone to pass by Brave so that the enemy gets none when they're about to die, and then to pass to Riku so Riku can give it to everyone and then you can burst. It is like facing the Harlem Globetrotters in a game where you have to face the Harlem Globetrotters. It's just annoying. Like, in my opinion, it is not fun. This is the kind of stuff that makes players see that this game isn't taking itself seriously. The whole inception and utilization of Riku and like the deployment of Riku was, in my opinion, very poorly. Not very fun to me. So of course, the other two moves are literally just Ramza Cheer, but worse. Of course, all this stuff is being nerfed. So I wanted to say SE is definitely gonna take the tournament scene way more seriously. We essentially have been mostly getting a lot of community input and the community output from our tournament scene. There is always damn near 80 people on stream when tournaments are on. There is no way that Square Enix is going to see 80 to 90 people participating in a tournament stream and not do something with it. I think the community itself is becoming more alive. I think people are kind of getting an idea of how much easier the game is getting, and I really think that a massive part of this in general is going to have to do with an even better awakening for most people playing. In my opinion, this is literally a good sign. Everything that we're seeing so far is good. SE really does not want this stuff to dominate the tournament scene or to dominate their game's game. So this is what this is telling me. All this is telling me that they're taking it seriously and urging the player base to stop trying to play the game like this and start trying to play the game like this. By characters who have unique skills, unique abilities, characters playing the way they're supposed to and not avoiding interaction with other teammates, all that kinds of stuff. So this really is like telltale to me that the game is going to have a healthy future. If they're putting this much effort into making tournament play the standard, like stopping Ramza and, you know, passing and Brave sharing from being the standard, in my opinion, this is good. This is extremely good. I guess for this segment, the last thing I want to cover is Celeste. I do want to cover her URs, but I think I might actually do that on a separate video or a separate stream because there's a lot to unpack here. I wanted to kind of go in detail with essentially what her UR is going to mean for the game, what the abilities are going to do, kind of go frame by frame off of the ability activation to see like what the actual range and distance is, where the pull stops, where the hitbox aligns, the AoE would be per se, and just how much of an impact her heal is going to have, and what her stats are going to be if I have to speculate. But yeah, so that's it for this segment. I actually just kind of want to play. It's getting late. This, and then I want to move over to. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you disagree with anything that I have to say, you can go ahead and just kind of hit me up on Discord, I guess. I'm gonna leave this as a YouTube video, as a small section of my YouTube video, as a segment. So you can go ahead and kind of leave a comment on that when it's up. Move this over to games now. And yeah. For you watching from YouTube, don't forget to like and sub. I don't think it's going to be really helpful, and if you don't, I really encourage you to leave a comment, because I do want community feedback, and I do want, regardless of what anyone might believe, I do care. See you next time. Wait, that's the close for the YouTube video.